Chapter 14. The phone rings. I pick it up to see who it is, and I am a little taken aback. It is the first time Riley has ever called me. We always just text. How odd to have a boyfriend for over 3 months that I have never once spoken to on the phone. Hello, hey girlfriend, he says. I smile chazily at the sound of the voice. Hey, boyfriend, guess what? What? I am taking the day off tomorrow. Your floral shop doesn't open until 1 o'clock on Sunday. I am on the way to your apartment with 2 bottles of wine. You want to have a sleepover with you, your boyfriend, and have a drunken sex all night and sleep until noon. It's really embarrassing what his word do to me. I smile and say, guess what? What? I am cooking your dinner. Cooking your dinner and I am wearing a apron. Oh yeah, he says, just an apron. And then I hang up. A few seconds later and I get text message, Riley, pick please me, get over here and you can take the picture yourself. I am almost finished preparing the casserole mixture when the door opens. I pour it into the glass pan and do not turn around when I hear him walk into the kitchen. When I said I was just wearing an apron, I meant I am not even wearing panties. I can hear him suck it in a rush of air when I reach over to the oven and stick the casserole inside. I might reach a little too far for sure when I do it. When I close the oven, I do not face him. I grab a rag and start wiping down and the oven, making sure to sway my hips as much as possible. I squeal when I feel a piercing sting on my right butt cheek. I spin around and Riley is grinding, holding 2 bottles of wine. Did you just bite me? Me gives me an innocent look. Do not tempt the scorpion. If you do not want to get stung, me eyes me up and down while he opened one of the bottles. He hold it up before he pour us his glass and says in its vintage I say with mock impression words a special occasion. He hands me a glass and says, I'm going to be an uncle. I have a smoking hot girlfriend and I get to perform a very rare, possibly once in a lifetime craniopagus separation on Monday. I scan Rio, but he finishes off his glass of wine and pour himself another one. Craniopagus separation conjoined when he says he pointed to a spot on the top of the head and tap it attached right here. I'll be been studying them since they were born. It's a very rare surgery, very rare. For the first time, I think is genuinely turned on by. Genuinely turned on by him. As a doctor, I mean, I admire his drive, I admire his dedication, but seeing how excited he is about what he is doing for a living is seriously sexy. How long do you think it will take? I ask. You shall not show their young, so being under general anesthesia for too long in a concern, he holds up his right hand and wiggles his finger, but hey, this is a very special hand that has been through almost $500,000 worth of special education. I have a lot of faith in this hand. I walk over to him and press my lip to his palm. I am a little fond of his hand too. He slides the hand down to my neck and then spins me so that I'm flush against the counter. I gasp because I wasn't expecting that. He flushes himself against me from behind and slowly slides his hand down the slide of my body. I press my palms into the granite and close my eyes, already feeling the rush of the wine. This hand, he whispers, is the steadiest hand in all of Boston. He pushes on the back of my neck, bending me further over the counter. His hand meets the inside of my knee and he glides it upward slowly. Jesus, he pushes my leg apart and then his fingers are inside me. I more the and try to find something to hold on to. I grip the faucet just as he began to work magic, and then just like a magician his hand disappears. I hear him walking out of the kitchen. I watch as he passes the front of the counter. He winks at me down the rest of his glasses of wine and says, I'm gonna take a quick shower. What's a tease? You asshole. I yell after him. I'm not an asshole. I yell from my bedroom. I'm a highly trained neurosurgeon. I laugh and pour myself another glass of wine. I'll show him who the tease really is. I'm on the third glass of wine when he walks out of my bedroom. I'm on the phone with my mother, so I push him from the couch as he makes his way to the kitchen and pour himself another glass. That is some seriously good wine. What are you doing tonight? My mother asks. I have her on speakerphone. Riley is leaning against a wall, watching me talk to her. Not much helping Riley study. That sounds not very interesting. She says. Riley winks at me. It's actually very interesting. I say to her, I help him study a lot, mostly reviewing fine motor control of the hand. In fact, will be probably be up all night studying. The 3 glasses of wine has made me frisky. I cannot believe I am flirting with him while I am on the phone with my mother. Boss, I gotta go. I tell her we are talking always Alyssa and Marshall out to dinner tomorrow night, so I call you on to Monday. Oh, where are you talking them? I roll my eyes. The woman cannot take a hint. I do not know. Riley, where are we talking them? That place we went to that one time with your mom. He says beeps. I made reservation for 6 o'clock. My heart feels like in a sling. Sit down. My chest. My mother says, oh my uh, choice. Yeah, if you like celebrate my mom, I hang up and look at Riley. I don't want to go back there. I don't like it. And let's just try something new. I failed to tell him why I really don't want to go back there. But how do you tell your brand new boyfriend that you are trying to avoid your first love? Riley pushes you off the wall. You'll be fine. He says, well, I should have to wait there. I told her all about it. Maybe I'll be get lucky and I'll just want to be working. Speaking of food, Riley says I am starving. The casserole. Oh shit, I say laughing. Riley rushes to the kitchen and I stand up and follow him. In there I walk in just as he pulls the oven door open and waves it away the smoke wind. I get dizzy all of a sudden from standing up too fast. After having 3 glasses of wine, I grabbed the counter beside him to steady myself just as he reaches into a pull of the burnt casserole. Out, Riley, you need a shit, he yells. Port, port holder, the casserole falls from his hand and lands on the floor. Shattering everywhere, I lift up my feet to avoid broken glass and mushroom chicken splatter. I start laughing at as soon as I realize it isn't even think to use a pot holder. Must be the wine. This is some seriously strong wine. He slams the oven shut and moves to the faucet, shoving his head under the cold water, muttering curse words. I am trying to suppress my laughter, but the wine and the ridiculousness of the last few seconds are making it hard. I look at the floor and the mess we are about to have to clean up, and the laughter burst from me. I am still laughing as I lean over to get a look at Riley's head. I hope he doesn't hurt it too bad. I am instantly not laughing anymore. I am on the floor, my hand pressed against the corner of my eye, and a matter of 1 second, Riley's arm came out of nowhere and slammed me, knocking me backward. There were enough force behind it to knock me off balance, and I lost my flow footing. I hit my face on the cabinet door handle as I came down. Pain shoot through the corner of my eye right near my temple, and then I feel like the weight heaviness fall and it's pressing down on the every part of me. So much gravity pushing down on the emotional everything shatter. My tear, my hurt, my laughter, my soul shattering like broken glass raining down around me. I grab my arm over my head and try to wish away the last 10 seconds. Oh damn it. Lily, I hear him say, it's not funny, this hand is so my fucking career. I do not look up at him. His voice doesn't penetrate through my body. This time it feels like it is stabbing me now. The sharpness of each of his word coming at me like sword. That I feel him next to me, his good damn hand on my back rubbing. Lily, he says, oh God, Lily. He trying to pull my arm from my head, but I refuse to budge. I start shaking my head, wanting the last 15 seconds to go away. 15 seconds, that's all it takes completely change everything about a person. 15 seconds that we go, never get back. He pulls me against him and start kissing the top of my head. I'm so sorry, I just burned my hand. I panicked. You were laughing at. I'm so sorry. It all happened so fast. I didn't mean to push you. Lily, I'm sorry, I did not hear Riley's voice this time. Oh, like, here is my father's voice. I'm sorry, Jenny. It was an accident. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Lily. It was an accident. I'm sorry. I just want him away from me. I use every ounce of strength I have in both my hand and leg, and I force him and fuck away from me. And he falls backward onto his hand. His eyes are full of the genuine sorrow, but then they are full of something else, worry, panic. He slowly pulls up his right hand, and it's covered in blood. Blood is trickling out of his palm, down his wrist. He looked at the floor, at the shattered pieces of glass from the casserole. Raised his head. I just pushing onto glass. He turned around, and pulled himself up. He sticks his hand under the steam water and started rinsing away the blood. I stand up just as he pulled a sliver of glass out of my palm and tosses it on the counter. I am full of so much anger but somehow concern for his hand still finds its way out. I grab a towel and shave it into his waist. There is so much blood in his right hand. His surgery Monday. I try to have stopped the bleeding, but I am shaking too bad. Riley, your hand. He pulls the hand away and with his good hand he lifts my chin up the hand. Lily, I did not care about my hand. Are you okay? He is looking back and forth between my eyes frantically as he assesses the cut of my face, my shoulder being to shake and use her filled tear spill down my cheek. No, I am a little in shock and I know he can hear my heart breaking with just that one word because I can feel it in every part of me. I on my body is push me riding you. The realization of what has just happened hurts worse than the actual action. Riley wraps his arm around my neck and desperately holds me against him. I'm sorry, Lily God. I am so sorry. He buries his face against my hair, squeezing me with every emotion inside of him. Please do not hate me, please. His voice slowly start to become Riley's voice again, and I feel it is stomach in my toes. His entire career depends on his hand, so it has to say a bit something that he is not even worried about it. Right, and so confused. There is too much happening. The smoke, the wine, the broken glass, the food splattered everywhere, the blood, the anger, the apologize. It's too much. I'm so sorry. He says again. I pull back and his eyes are red and nervous. Seeing him look so sad, I panicked. I didn't mean so to push you away. I just panicked. All I could think about was the surgery Monday and my hand and I am so very sorry. He pressed his mouth to mine and breathes me. He is not like my father. He cannot be. He is nothing like that uncaring bastard. We were both upset and kissing and confused and said I have never felt anything like this moment so ugly and painful. But somehow the only thing that eases the heart just caused by this man is the man my tear are soothed by the sorrow, by my emotions soothed with his mouth against mine, his hand gripping me like he never want to let go. I feel like his arm go around my waist and he picks me up, carefully stepping through the mess. Well, later, I can tell I'm more disappointed in him or myself in or losing his temper in the first place. So me for somehow finding comfort in the apology. Me carrier me and kiss me all the way to my bedroom. He is still kissing me when he lower me to the bed and whisper, I am sorry, Lily. He moves his leg to the spot on my eye that it is the cabinet and kisses me there. I am sorry. This mouth is mine again, hot and wet, and I do not even know what's happening to me. I am hurting so much on the inside, yet my body craves his apology in the form of his mouth and hands on me. I want to lash out at him and react like I always wish my mother would have reacted when my father hurt her. But deep down, I wanted to believe that it really was an accident. Riley is like my father is nothing like him. I need to feel his sorrow, his regret. I get both of these things in the way. He kisses me, I spread my lap for him, and his sorrow comes in another form, slow, apologetic thrust inside of me. Every time he enters me, he whispers another apology, and by some miracle, every time he pulls out of my anger, leaves with him. He is kissing my shoulder and my cheek. My eye is still on top of me, touching me gently. I've never been touched like this with such tenderness. I try to forget what's happening in the kitchen, but it's everything right now. He pushes me away from him while he pushes me. For 15 seconds, I saw a side of him that wasn't him, but that wasn't me. I laughed at him have when I should have been concerned. He showed me when he should have never touched me. I pushed him away and caused him to cut his hand. I was a fool the whole thing. The entire 15 seconds I lasted was absolutely a fool. I never want to think about it again. He still has a rag rolled up his hand and it's soaked with blood. I push my against his chest. I'll get right back. I'll tell him. He kisses me once more time and rolls off me. I walk the bathroom and close the door. I look in the mirror and gasp. Blood in my hair, on my cheek, on my body. It's all this. Blood. I grabbed a rag and tried to wash some out, and then I looked under the sink for the first and kept. I have no idea how bad his hand is. First he burned it, then he sliced it open, not even an hour after he was just telling me how important this surgery was to him. Surgery, no more wine whenever I go, vintage wine again. I grabbed the box from under the sink and opened the bedroom door. He is, he is walking back into the bedroom from the kitchen with a small bag of ice. He holds it up for you. He says, I hold up the first aid kit for your head. We both smile and then I sit back down on the bed. He leans against the headboard while I pull his hand to my lap. The whole time I'm dressing, he is bound. He is holding my bag of ice against my eye. I squeeze up and his static scream onto my finger and dab it against the burn on his finger. They did not look as bad as I thought they might be. So that's a relief. Can we prevent it from blistering? I asked him. He shakes his head, not it, it's a second degree. I want to ask him if he can still perform the surgery. It is finger have blisters on it then come Monday, but I do not bring it up. I'm sure that's on my forefront of his mind right now. Do you want me to put some on your cut? On your cut? He knows the bleeding has stopped. I'm sure he needed stitches. He will get some, but I think it will be fine. I pull the ace bandage out of the first aid kit, being trapping his hand. Lily, he whispers. I look up at him. His head is resting against the headboard, and it looks like I want to cry. I feel terrible. He says, if I could take it back, I know. I say, cutting him off. I know, Riley, it was. Terrible, you pushes me. You made me question everything I thought I knew about you, but I know you feel bad about it. We cannot take it back. I want it back. I want to bring it up again. I secure the bandage around his hand and then I look at him in the eye. But Riley, if anything like that ever happen again, I'll show you that this that time wasn't just an accident and leave you without a second thought. He stares at me for a long time, his eyebrow drawn apart in regret. He leans forward and presses his lip against mine. It won't happen again, Lily. I swear I'm not like him. I know what what you are thinking, but I swear to you, I shake my head, wanting him to stop. I cannot take the pain in the voice. I know you are nothing like my father. I say, just please do not ever make me doubt you again. Please, he brushes hair here from my forehead. You are the most important part of my life. Lily, I am want to be the what bring you happiness, not what cause you to hurt. He kisses me and then we stand up and leans over me, pressing the eyes to my face. Hold this here for about 10 minutes. I'll prevent it from swelling. I He replaces his hand with mine. Where are you going? He kisses me on forehead and says to clean up my mess. He spends the next 20 minutes cleaning the kitchen. I can hear glass being tossed into the trash can, wine being poured out in the sink. I go to the bathroom and I take a quick shower to get his blood off me, and then I chance to sheets on my bed. When he finally has the kitchen clean up, he comes on the bedroom with the glass. He hand it to me. It's soda. He says a caffeine will help. I take a drink of it and feel it freeze down in my throat. It's actually the perfect thing. I take another drink and set it on the nightstand. What's its help with the hangover? Hangover. Riley slides into the bed and pulls the cover over as he shakes his head. No, I did not think soda actually help anything. My mom just used to give me a soda after I'll have had a bad day, and it always made me feel like a little better. I smile well at work. He brushes his hand down my cheek, and I can see it in his eye and in the way he touches me, and he deserves at least one chance at forgiveness. I feel it. I don't find a way to forgive him. I was somewhat replaces blame on him for the sentiment I still hold for my father. He is not like my father. Riley loves me. He's never come out and said it before, but I know he does, and I love him. What happened in the kitchen tonight is something is confident will not happen again, and not after seeing how upset he is that he hurts me. All humans make mistakes, but determines a person's character. And the mistake we make, it's how we take those mistakes and turn them into lesson rather than excuses. Riley's eyes somehow grow even more sincere, and he leans over and kisses my hand. He settles his head into the pillow, and we just lie there staring at him, at each other, sharing this unspoken energy that fills all the holes the night has left in us. After a few minutes, he squeezes my hand Lily, he says, brushing his thumb over mine. I'm in love with you. I feel these words in every part of me, and when I whisper I love you too, it's most naked truth I've ever spoken to him.